Schwartz could not make it. Mr. Shepherd.
Here.
Ms. Longenecker. Here. Mr. Jarvis.
Here.
Ms. Hanrahan. Here. Council President Miracle is not here. The only thing that we have today is the approval of the Ohio Public Works Commission loan. What the city got is a combination grant and loan. So this will cover 100% of the total project cost. The total project cost is estimated to be $1,758,300, which means that the loan will be $879,150. The Public Works Commission loans are at 0% interest. This loan will also be amortized over 30 years. Each payment is due on a semi-annual basis of twice a year. But based on 30 years, I'm not going to do the math, but it is very, very small amount of payment. In your packet, I have a resolution which speaks exactly to what I just said. Mayor, they look at feasibility, need, and whatever it is that they do, and then they do make the award. So the process is pretty long. It's a pretty long process, and then of course, I'm not sure exactly at what point, if the city goes to council to get approval to apply, or if they wait until they get the loan and grant awarded, because sometimes you don't know if you are going to get anything. The city, though, in the history that I've seen, has been pretty successful at getting money from Public Works Commission, a lot of which has been grants. They've really got quite a number of grants. Now, some of it they have had to put their own money up. It's not completely cost-free to them. But very few, there aren't that many loans, and certainly not that many that are still active. So the exposure isn't very large at this point. So good luck. I was kind of surprised. The Lincoln Avenue kind of hit me out of nowhere. I didn't see that on your capital plan. Is this something that just came up, or?
I think Lincoln Avenue's been on our capital. It's definitely part of what's been involved in our street survey. We had a street survey done by engineering a few years ago, and Lincoln Avenue was one of the highest rated streets for needing a rehabilitation. So it's been on those for the last few years.
Okay, sounds good. I may have missed that. All right, if any other questions, anything? Okay, then I'm not going to read the resolution, but I am going to ask for a motion to approve the OPWC loan.
Make that motion.
Mr. Shepherd moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Longenecker seconds. I will call the roll. Mr. Shepherd.
Approve.
Ms. Longenecker.
Approve.
Mr. Jarvis.
Approve.
Mayor Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Miracle and Mr. Schwartz are not here. Ms. Hanrahan, yes. Okay, it is approved. So I think at this point, Auditor Stith will be signing relief. He can go ahead and sign. I think there's two parts, if I'm not mistaken. He signs a promissory note, and I think there is a section for you to sign as well on this. Yeah. So I will tell you to go forward, and then your regional person will be glad to see the paperwork in. My understanding is once I get the paperwork in, the draws can start. So, and those draws will go directly to the contractors, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the determination of the next meeting date and time. I know we had scheduled a September 14th meeting. I'd like to move that probably to the end, possibly to the end of October. This will give the city some more time to work on the comments on the report on accounting methods. And there may be, I would think, because we're not sure about payments and stuff, we may need to update some forecasts of those funds.
I would, if I
Yes.
might, I would like to meet on September. I feel like we've made progress. We had a meeting the other day, talked about the report on accounting methods and where we stand. We are the group that met. We set that as our target date to provide information to the commission on where we are on those things. I'd rather not wait until later on in the year. And I don't know what date you're looking at, but September's a good date for that group to meet with the Financial Recovery Commission, make sure we're on the same page with this.
Which group is this?
The group is myself, Mr. Miracle, and the Safety Service Director. I've also had the auditor and the treasurer working on some items that they should be able to provide good clarification on where we stand with those too.
Well, if we had it on the calendar, I guess we can keep it.
What date is that? Because it's not on my calendar.
September 14th at 9 o'clock. That's a Wednesday. That's what I had it.
Is it a Wednesday?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Can we move it to a Tuesday? Wednesdays are kind of tough. That was my...
Tuesdays are council meetings
Oh,
for
okay.
us, which would not be a good day for that.
Sorry, it's scheduled for September 14th,
Yeah,
which is a Wednesday.
Yes.
which is a Wednesday.
I would say, though, maybe if we do go ahead with that in September, given some of the deadlines that the auditor's office has discussed with me, that we would not meet until January.
I would rather meet before January. I mean, the last thing I want to do is get into a position where we are 8 months into the year before the Financial Recovery Commission has had a chance to look at numbers and make decisions and help the city move forward. We are continuing to cost the taxpayers money by pushing out projects and not being able to let projects at the beginning of the year. And we've done this the last 2 years. And it's not just a matter of timing. It's a matter of us getting on the contractor's books and being able to say, this project will move forward in the spring and it'll be done. By doing this, we have cost our city more and more money by not having a budget in place the last 2 years. And it really, and I know people can say that really shouldn't be a problem. We're doing it right. We are saving money. You're right. We're saving money. We're going to end up with a big carryover this time, again, because we're saving money. But we are also losing money because we don't get our projects in. Now everybody's filled up, and we say, hey, we really need to secure this work. And they go, well, yeah, we can do it, but it's going to be an extra 30% or 15%. We shouldn't be doing that with the taxpayers' money.
What's the timing of when you start bidding out as opposed to when it should be in your recovery plan?
Well-
Because once it's in your recovery plan, I don't understand why there's a wait.
We asked for, well, we can't go forward at all in the least bit. We can't sign any contract until the Financial Recovery Commission says yes, and until the auditor puts it in the system and the money is actually there, allocated for that. We can't do a thing.
But if it's in your...
You tell me if I'm wrong, but that's how it's been. The auditor has made it, let me finish. The auditor has made it clear that we cannot sign a contract for any work until the Financial Recovery Commission says we can move forward that way. So I'll ask
you can answer this too.
The commission doesn't approve contracts,
Yeah.
and she can speak to that. If you have the project within your financial recovery plan, which is part of the reason why the capital outlay plan has to be done, to then show the capital in the 3 funds that are required under the emergency. If that's already in there in the next 5 years, you can go forward. We've stated that. Your budget is in the first of the year based upon the 5-year forecast put in place at that time. So 2023s will actually start out right now with what the 23 plan shows for now. That's what your appropriations can be up to if you have already put in the plan that you're going to do XYZ project, especially in that capital plan that you lay out, then you can move forward with it, as long as it's not exceeding what was already projected or planned within that recovery plan.
Okay, so a question I would have is, in recent years, we passed the financial recovery plan in March,
Right.
Yes.
which is 3 months into the year, not a problem. Now we've pushed it back a couple more months because there were some problems, some challenges.
Yes.
Are we looking at it being pushed back again to July? Are we going to say, well, that's our new goalpost is now July or August before the financial recovery plan is finalized? Or are we looking at it saying, and I guess the other question is, how long do we stay with a declared fiscal emergency? And maybe this is a better question for someone other than this committee, but to find out, like, if we're ending up with 5 years of carryover and we've got all the different things completed how long does the city stay in a fiscal emergency?
When all the comments on the report on accounting methods are addressed.
Okay, so even
then-
more reason
yes.
to meet, and then we should be meeting every month. We should be
No,
meeting
we're not
every
going
month to make sure that we're addressing those.
Yeah, we're not. That's up to the city to address, not this commission.
Okay, but we can't bring them to the commission unless the commission
The
meets.
commission doesn't actually need to see them. The auditor of state's office needs to see them because they need to test them. They need to look at it. Like, for instance, if we had something, I'm just making this up, but making sure that purchase orders were in place prior to expenditure of dollars. So we write a policy or something, or they'd say, or the city would say, yeah, we're doing it now. Well, that's great, except that the auditor of state's office would want to test that and would observe that to make sure that that indeed was happening.
So what you're saying is this could go on forever?
No.
Because they could say, well, we tested these 3 and this one passed, but these 3 didn't, and here's 4 others that you should put in. When there
The
are...
report on accounting methods, when that was issued, that's the only comments that you have to address. They're not going to come up with new ones. However, after saying that, you would have to make sure that you do reconcile to the bank records. And I think that is still a challenge at this point. But again, the city's working on it. And also, the auditor of state's office has to come in, and just like they tested to see under what conditions, if the city would qualify to be under fiscal emergency, the auditor of state's office has to come in again and test again. But that is by the time they do that, though, it's almost perfunctory in that matter, because their concern is the forecast, 5-year forecast is good, their report on accounting methods have all been addressed, and at that point, it is just having a team come in and do that.
We
So
also
that
have to
wouldn't
look
be-
at the last audit report comments and management letter comments.
That's true, the management letters.
So that would be the only other comments that, if it wasn't in the report on accounting methods, we have to look at those to see if they are being addressed by the city. So it's 4 parts.
When does that report come out?
What report?
The accounting, you said there was an accounting report?
The report on
the audit.
accounting methods is already out there.
Okay.
Your financial statements is what I'm talking about. You have an audit every year. So it's the last audited report of your financial statements, which I know that the 2021 just got filed for the compilation either end of July, at the end of July. So I do not know where your audit stands at this point for that. You would have to talk to your city auditor's office, as they are the ones that
Are working with them.
kind of deal with the auditor's office for that.
So if there are any, in that 2021 report, if there are any out of compliance items within that report, they would need to be addressed also to get out of fiscal.
And the management letter, if there's one, yes,
And the management, okay.
yes. But if that's not released, whatever the most recent release report is what we look at. So if we did it today, we would look at the 20 report, just to give an example.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay,
Again, with the report on accounting methods, we're the ones that have to clear that in my office. So that stuff has to come to us first, and then it's going to be presented to the commission, because we're the ones that state whether it's complete, in process, or not even started yet. Those are the three that we state on where the conditions are. And I have gotten an email from Noah on a couple of things, so.
okay. All right, well, I guess my point is that we would like to, city, and I would like to meet with the group. We feel like we've made some really good progress on the report on accounting methods, and I'd like to present that and make sure that we're on the same page and going down the right path and what is required.
Okay,
So,
well, at this point, since we have the September 14th meeting on the books, let's keep with that, and then we'll think about in the future how we'll meet and when.
okay.
That's fine.
So, okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Down September 14th. All right. Because this was a special meeting just solely for the purpose of approval of the loan, I would now look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Shepherd moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Jarvis seconds. Mayor Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Longenecker,
Yes.
Mr. Jarvis,
Yes.
Ms. Hanrahan, yes. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.